come up with. There's a couple of them. The application profile can be wrong, so the baseline that we're coming up with can be wrong. It can't. Maybe it's too open or it's too tight, and so everything's tripping. It could also be that we won't catch the in-browser exploits. What I mean by that is things that actually match the baseline, work with an IE, but we subjectively consider invalid use of the browser or a malicious attempt at the browser. So an example of this would be phishing, IP address spoofing. We may not catch this, very easily. But we can watch for things that affect the machine state, which, for what I'm looking at, for the data we're looking at, is really the big key here. We're looking for malware, binaries, and bots that have been dropped. Okay, good, all right. So we're looking for the malware and the things that have been dropped on the machine, more so than just the standard web pages. And then, of course, this architecture is not cross-platform, but the question I pose is Unix even a client problem? Is there an issue with Unix clients? I don't think it's big enough of a market, really, that anybody's targeted for that. So it's not going to be cross-platform. It'll probably be C# .NET based type of solution. So that's it in general. It's very amateur technology. There's not a lot happening with it. My goal here was just to introduce you into some of the things that are happening, so as you start seeing these terms being used, you have a better understanding of what's available, what that really means, what kind of data they're getting, and just introduce you to sort of where things are going in the future. There's a lot of growth in this area. There's a couple different universities that are coming up with, I think there's 3 new open source honey client architectures coming out in the next couple of months. University of Victoria in New Zealand, they have 2 different groups that are working on this problem. And I think Indiana University also has some interest in this. So is there any questions in general? I walked pretty fast through it because it's a pretty, I think, simple concept, but it's really when you dive in deep where you get questions. Go ahead.
So far you're just talking about URL. So far you've just been talking about URLs. I'm just wondering if this expands to email. What about issues like privacy? And that is an area of concern because emails is not so much in the traffic, but the payload and the content.
When you say email, do you mean you receive an email and you want to see if it's valid?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it can easily be extended to that, and that's why I was trying to drive the architecture modularity. Right now, the focus on email has been as an input mechanism into our URL parsing, but nothing prohibits you from using an email to see if there's an exploit within the email. And there can be systems that can do that. This system could be extended to do that, and that is the goal. We don't know what the next things will be. I'd like to be able to scan Word documents as they're open to see if there's any macros, and then actually crawl the web downloading Word documents. So do a nice simple Google filter search on, say, job application in a Word document and see if anything has any, macros in it that are bad. So there's lots of possibilities going forward, but right now we're still at the same level of building the architecture. And some of the architectures in my mind before were too limited to even start thinking of that. Anybody else have any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, science fiction question. Let's say we're not using Microsoft. Mm-hmm. Let's say everyone all of a sudden is using Linux. Mm-hmm. What do you think this scenario would look like? Same sort of exploits being developed?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing. I mean, it's the same technology, just somebody else wrote the code. So Mozilla Firefox is an issue, and we're going to have to look at that going forward here. How do we address it? Right now, Mozilla, the plugins aren't so well known. It's not as easy. It's easy to integrate with. They have a good API, but nobody's built anything for it yet. And there's not enough to get people interested as of yet. I'd like to do more research in it, but right now we got to go with low-hanging fruit, which is Microsoft. But the technology in general will apply to anything. It'll apply to Unix, it'll apply to Macs, it'll apply to anything. We just have to have the code to build it to do the assessments.
So it's an economic question, basically.
Right, exactly, yeah. Right now it's a very research-driven technology. Lots of research, and there's really, besides SiteAdvisor, they commercialize it, but they commercialize the data, not really the technology. So right now, until we get more proof that this is a good technology, we won't be going into those different areas.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Any questions in general on HoneyNet technology since I'm here? All right, well, I thank you guys, and I think you got out early for a coffee break, so that's good.